Hello everybody, welcome back to another review video. Today we're going to take a look at Tenet, who after a couple months after it came out in the theaters, I've finally been able to see it. I really wanted to watch this movie for a long time because I'm a really big Christopher Nolan fan. And it came out in theaters, but I was like super scared to see it. I did not want to risk getting COVID. If you ask me, I think theaters are like personally one of the worst places to go right now. I mean, honestly, imagine yourself sitting in the theater, it's like everybody coughing, especially if it's like a full packed theater. I just don't think it's worth it. And honestly, I've been thinking a lot for a long time if I wanted to see new releases at the theater, with all the stuff that's going on in the world and, like all the plans like HBO and Warner Bros. Have with all the movies that they're going to be released in theaters. I just don't think I'm going to watch them in theaters. Like, I just don't think it's worth the risk. And honestly, like if it's safe to go in your town or whatever, I think I'm not going to judge. Like if you're safe and it's a safe area with not as much cases, then I think it's okay to go. But like, for example, in my town, we're still spiking in cases, and I don't think it was responsible to go. I just don't really want to risk it. So I'm going to have to wait until all these movies come out later in the year in 2021. So I just wanted to talk about that quick because I think it's important to, talk about it because, with all the new movies that are coming out and, Mexico where I live, we're not even going to get HBO Max. So it's going to be kind of like an important decision to make and an important statement to just, stay home and not go to the movie theater. But yeah, well, now that that's out of the way, I'm just going to keep talking about Tenet. This is the latest movie written and directed by Christopher Nolan. Like many of his previous works, it features a really complex plot focused on sci-fi elements. So this one treats about a machine that can turn people and objects, basically turn them back in time. And the protagonist, played by John David Washington, is somebody who's part of this organization named Tenet, who is tasked with basically bringing someone who is from the future and is planning to destroy the world by reversing entropy and basically like destroying the world in itself. Obviously, the plot is way more complex, but this is like the easiest way I can explain it. There's a lot of like ins and outs and things I didn't quite get. Like that's one of the things Tenet like really put me to think. I think this is a movie that deserves like a second watch and basically read a little bit about it, how the things work. But I think it was really interesting. I feel like it really showcases Nolan's style the best as it can. I heard it like he's been working on this plot for a long time, so to see it be as well produced as it was and as like the story, eventually if you think about it hard enough, it makes sense. So it's not like pseudo-intellectual or pseudo-scientific stuff. I mean, obviously it's science fiction, but it's not like something Nolan just kind of like thought about in an afternoon. This is like a plot that once I really thought about it, it actually makes sense from beginning to end and then end to beginning as, the plot goes and moves back and forth. But yeah, overall it's a good experience. Tenet stars John David Washington as the protagonist. I think he did a really good job in this movie. I haven't seen him in much films, but in this one I can really see he's a good actor. And coupled with the writing and also like the side characters, namely Robert Pattinson as Neil and Elizabeth Debicki as Kat, it made for a really good cast. And although Tenet has good characters, I didn't like as much its bad guy, played by Kenneth Branagh, who for the second time this year plays the main villain of a story after being the director of Artemis Fowl. I think his motivations were really vague. Like I didn't really get why he wanted to destroy the world, other than he was a sociopath and he wanted to keep Kat as his personal wife forever. And I just think it didn't really make sense. The same thing happened in The Dark Knight with the Joker. Like his main motivation was none other than he was like a psychopath and he just wanted to have fun and whatever. But I feel like in The Dark Knight, the Joker worked well because of the nature of the character. And in this one, it's not really that explained, or we don't have like as much background for Kenneth Branagh's villain. So I don't know. I just didn't really like how that worked. Another thing I really enjoyed about Tenet was its references and philosophical themes. One of them, such as the Sator Square or the Rotas Square, which is like a really ancient two-dimensional palindrome that is used throughout the movie. But, well, not used, it's referenced with some of the locations. For example, the main villain's name is Sator, and also like Rotas, which means rotate, is kind of like the how the machine that turns things back in time works. So that was pretty cool. And I like Tenet is like the word in the middle. Like I'll put it here on the screen so you know what I'm talking about, the palindrome. But it's like a reference that I thought it was cool. So after I saw the movie, I read about this and I was like, oh my god, that is genius. Like I think Christopher Nolan is like a really smart filmmaker. So he, like, apart from doing like all these complex plots for his movies that really work, he also like introduces those ideas. And also I really enjoy like the philosophy of the movie, like the philosophy of time travel, like how things work when you go back in time. And like I said before, it was really confusing at times. Like I didn't really understand the purpose of kind of like the scene where all the soldiers go like surround the main thing to save the world. Like they go, one side goes like forward in time and the other side goes backwards in time, but they're also like moving towards the same direction. So it was kind of strange. But yeah, I enjoyed all that stuff. It really made me think about how that would work in our real world. Like all the time, I was like, "Oh my god, how is this even possible?" Like I thought it was like it didn't really make any sense, because I'm really interested in science, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But then I was like thinking more deeply about it, and then I was like, oh, maybe it could make sense. Maybe Christopher Nolan is knows something that we don't. So yeah, overall, like this movie really shines on making me think. And yeah, overall, it's a good movie. I enjoyed my time watching it. It made me think and made me reflect. And that's pretty much everything I have to say about Tenet. It's a good movie. It didn't disappoint me. I'm enjoying Christopher Nolan. I really can't wait for his next movie. I'm really gonna follow him as one of my favorite directors ever. But anyways, I think that's everything for today. After everything I said, I think Tenet deserves 78 out of 100. It's not perfect. It's not as good as his previous work, but it's still an enjoyable experience. I think Tenet really deserves a watch and possibly a rewatch to get all the stuff I missed the first time. But anyways, that's everything for today. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time in another review. Have a nice day. See ya.